Excuse me. Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode 244. We're here reviewing the news episode of Case Closed, and in case you're curious though, no, there'll not be a review for a new episode this Saturday. There may be a review of the new chapter of the manga if it gets released, but otherwise though, no new chapter of the anime. No episode of the anime. Yeah, it's a take a week off for a rerun. Yep, another rerun. Of course. I'm like, yeah, after like 2 straight weeks, after 3 straight weeks of 2 straight weeks of 2 brand new episodes, and now we're taking another week off. Don't know when we're gonna have a new episode. I have not seen anything on here for it. This one's called Best Husband. So we start out with Mori, Ran, and Conan arriving at this very large mansion. It looks like they walked there. No, actually, they took a car. They walk in. They open the door and meet the secretary. Which, when I saw him, he looked like the recurring police detective who actually appeared in one of the arcs of the series. Where is that detective? Oh yeah, looks similar to the detective, filmer, like very similar face except they remove the dangling hair. Yeah, I saw him like, wait, is this a detective? No, it's just a character with very similar appearance, and like they adjust his eyebrows, but very similar face. So it turns to the guy they meet at the door is actually the secretary. Yes, Senji Oe, and basically they're hired by Riko, who's 42 years old, very beautiful woman. Except that she's not part of this family of major politicians. Apparently, she married into it. Yeah, her husband, we'll see later. So apparently, Riko is taking a long time. Don't know why it's taking a long time, just as she is. So you have Rand, Conan, and Congress waiting to look like the dining room. And then all of a sudden, door busts open, like there's a scream, like, oh crap, she's running, yeah, Riko runs the door. Like, oh, there's this attacker with a knife, this thug, which of course Mori and Conan chase him down to the annex out of the mansion, down to the basement to go to a room that's soundproof. That was a key there. Like, why is there some? Apparently, this actually is a key to the end of the episode. This soundproof room, and then they try breaking it down. Like, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I get maybe Mori tried to break on the door, but I'm like, did the writer? I was watching this scene, like, wait a minute. Did the writer of this episode forget the fact that Rand's got raw strength? She can easily break down the door no problem with her raw strength. Nope, they completely forgot about it. Yes, I feel as though they forgot. It's like, oh, we gotta get this magical key, which had the ring of this one key, which this is even standard and fixed. Like, oh, we have this locked door, go get the key. And I'm like, okay, why not just have Rand kick down the door? She's right there. Is it like, oh, he'll use raw strength in canon stories? I'm like, that's bullcrap. She's done it in non-canon stories before. Yeah, I thought this was so stupid. So, they say, oh crap, the thug is dead. I think it might not be this guy, Akamaro. Yeah, and the discovered guy is also a blackmailer too. Apparently he was hired. Guy's got this really expensive watch. And the fact he's on his right hand. Like his left hand, but the thug was left-handed. Yeah, this is really weird. So think, oh, the husband did it. And then after some thinking about, oh, it's actually the wife who did it. Because she and the secretary have a very non-employee-employee relationship. It's like, it's implied they're in a romantic relationship. It doesn't go anywhere at all. So, I think Rico was the one who did it. And then, of course, well, Rand notices something interesting about the pictures on this fireplace. Rico's nails don't have the dark red that they see her have. That's how you know it's like, yeah, something is off. And then Mori is knocked unconscious. We don't see him get knocked out. I'm like, that's a rare occurrence. Yeah, he's like, here he is, automatically sleeping Congo. They even know, like, oh, he isn't sleeping. And then he's sleeping. I'm like, wait, did they cut a scene here? Which I'm like, I get the fact why they did this, and I'm like, and I see Conan in the show, I'm like, wow, Conan, could you hide a little better? Like, I don't know, how about hiding at the table? Because I'm sure that this guy is so stupid, he can't see a kid's head, top of kid's head, next to Maury's leg. I get the fact you're looking at him, but you can easily see there's a kid there. And I'm like, wow. So, basically it's revealed the whole thing was staged, and it was just to get rid of Rico because he was jealous of the fact his father passed him over for his wife for the politician job. He wanted to be a politician. And his father chose her for some reason. Don't know why. And then he tries to kill Mori. Takagi stops him, and he's arrested on the spot. He was going to be arrested anyways for supposedly self-defense. And turns out he really did kill him. Yes. And then he's hauled away. And then, like, it seems like by the end of the episode, the whole thing of, like, the whole thing of the blackmail thing is, like, completely forgotten by the end of the episode. I'm like, what was the point of this episode? I gotta admit, this episode feels like something that was maybe like a recycled plot. Maybe it was like, it felt as though this was something that was a leftover script. This may have been leftover script from a previous season of the show. Because Mori for a lot of the episodes are going to be pretty smart, for the most part. And I don't, like, here's the thing, like, I know there was this one episode that I watched a while ago where, my gosh, this episode was obviously written before the invention of freaking cell phones. Because they have cell phones in a series where you have Conan riding on his solar-powered skateboard. And then, of course, he beats up Conan for using his voice. I'm like, that is so stupid. Conan, you have a cell phone. Yeah. By the way, no phones the whole episode. I find that to be interesting. The fact that not a single phone pops up. This is another episode where you watch this episode like, wow, this is before the invention of cell phones, because there's no cell phones this episode. Yeah, and the fact that this plot is just solved way too quickly. And it's like maybe this was a rejected script, because it felt as though there was, like, obvious problems. I think this episode could have used another draft. Like, you could have fixed it, but I don't know. How about Rand do something this episode? Because a lot of the time, I would say about 90% of the time, in these filler episodes, Rand does nothing. She just stands around, does nothing. She had one small contribution the whole episode by noting Ranko's fingernails. And that was it. That was the only contribution the whole episode, was that one thing. Aside from that, it was practically nothing. No, seriously, it was nothing. And I'm like, what was the point of her being in this episode if you're not going to give her virtually like anything to do? At least Conan did some stuff. Like, I would say I like the fact that Conan does notice stuff in this episode, and I'm glad that Maury is not an idiot this episode. He does get a lot of stuff right. I mean, he basically is not a complete idiot for a change. And I'm also, one thing I'm really happy they dropped this from the series, where Conan basically says something and he gets bopped in the head for it a lot every time by Maury. And I am so happy that that was dropped, because that was stupid. That's child abuse. Yeah, I'm so happy they stopped doing that, because that was a really stupid gag. They just kept pushing this for a while, like early on, and then at some point they dropped it. I don't think it was the last couple of years. I think this stopped with like several years ago. Yes, that's my thing anyways. Oh, and there's another chapter this week. The chapter wasn't released. I haven't seen translation for yet. So that's going to be pretty much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the like button. I should point out that we know, like I mentioned, no new episodes this weekend because it's a repeat. Yep, another repeat. Okay, so tomorrow, the only thing in the schedule is probably going to be some Comic Corners. And that's probably going to be it. Yeah, just some Comic Corners. Because I got no new anime tomorrow, which, that's surprising. Oh, there is one thing happening tomorrow, and that's going to be a stream tomorrow night. Yep. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.